In 2003, Priest Holmes scored 27 touchdowns. In 2004, he scored 14. In 2005, he took one hit, and then he was just gone. No retirement speech, no farewell tour, no explanation. The NFL moved on. Fans moved on. And for 20 years, nobody really talked about what happened. Until recently, when Priest Holmes sat down with the man who ended his career. The guy who delivered the hit that almost left him paralyzed. And what Priest said, nobody saw coming. But before we get there, you need to understand something. Between 2001 and 2003, Priest Holmes wasn't just an NFL star. He was a cheat code. 66 touchdowns in 3 years, a record that felt untouchable. But while defenses were trying to stop him, something else was happening inside his body. Something the cameras couldn't see. Something he was ignoring. Every carry was a countdown. Every hit brought him closer to the edge. On October 30th, 2005, time ran out. Let's rewind. Priest Holmes shouldn't have never made it. At Texas, he was stuck behind Ricky Williams, a guy that won the Heisman in 1998. In Baltimore, he backed up Jamal Lewis, another future 2,000-yard rusher. The label stuck. Career backup. Undrafted, undersized, underappreciated. But in 2001, something changed. The Chiefs gave him a shot, not because they believed in him, because they had no one else. And then he did something nobody expected. He won the NFL rushing title as a 27-year-old nobody. But it wasn't just because he was that good, it was how he did it. Priest Holmes didn't bulldoze you, he disappeared. He'd take the handoff, vanish behind that legendary Chiefs offensive line, and then boom, he's 15 yards downfield before you even realize he had the ball. He was a ghost in pads. In 2003, he reached his final form. 27 rushing touchdowns. 27. That's more than some teams scored all year. He was the king of the NFL. Untouchable. Unstoppable. But there was a problem. His hands kept tingling. And after hits, his fingers would go numb for a few seconds. Then go away, so he ignored it. You ever have your foot fall asleep? That pins and needles feeling? Now imagine that, but it's your entire arm. And it happens every time you get tackled. Yeah, that's what Priest said he was dealing with. But he didn't tell anyone. Because in the NFL, if you're hurt, you're replaceable. So he kept running, kept scoring, kept pretending everything was fine. Until October 30th, 2005. Week 8, Chiefs vs. Chargers. Priest takes a handoff up the middle. Nothing special. He'd done it 1,000 times. But then Shawne Merriman, a 21-year-old rookie linebacker who's trying to prove he belongs, comes flying in. Helmet to helmet, crown the helmet right into Priest's face mask. By 2005 standards, totally legal, just a football play. But physics doesn't care about the rule book. Priest's head snaps back, his spine compresses, and for a split second, his entire nervous system glitches. He crumbles to the turf, and then he tries to get up. His hands won't move right. His legs feel like static. The trainers rush out, the cart comes, and Priest Holmes is taken off the field. Here's where it gets terrifying. After the game, the Chiefs doctors run tests, MRIs, CT scans, the whole 9 yards, and they find something. Spinal stenosis. Your spine is basically a tunnel. In your spinal cord, the thing that controls everything from your fingers to your toes runs through that tunnel. Spinal stenosis means that tunnel is too narrow, and when you take a hit, that spinal cord gets squeezed. For most people, it just causes pain, tingling, numbness. But for Priest Holmes, the doctors told him something that changed everything. If you take one more hit like that, you might never walk again. Not might get hurt, not might miss a few games, might never walk again. Quadriplegic, paralysis, life in a wheelchair. That's the risk. And just like that, the greatest 3-year run in NFL history was over. But here's the weirdest part. Priest Holmes didn't retire. He just disappeared. 2006. He's gone. No press conference. No big announcement. He's just not there anymore. Larry Johnson takes over. The Chiefs keep winning. And people kind of just forget about him. Because that's how the NFL works. You're a legend one day and a trivia question the next. But Priest wasn't done yet. In 2007, he has a dream. Literally, a dream about playing football again. And he convinces himself and the Chiefs that he can make a comeback. So he does. 4 games. That's it. In week 4 against the Colts, he takes a hit. Not even a bad one. But his hands go numb again. That same tingling. That same fear. And this time, he walks off the field and never comes back. No fanfare. No retirement ceremony. He just quietly fades into history. For 20 years, Priest Holmes and Shawne Merriman never spoke. Not because of hate, Not because of anger, but because what do you even say? Merriman was just a kid, a 21-year-old rookie trying to make a name for himself. He made a tackle, a legal tackle. He didn't know he was ending a Hall of Fame career, and for years, he carried that guilt. Did I do something wrong? Should I have pulled back? Was it my fault? Those questions ate at him, but in 2025, something incredible happened. They finally met. Priest understands something most people don't. Football isn't a game. It's gladiator combat in pads. You sign up knowing the risk, knowing that every play could be your last. Merriman was just doing his job, and Priest, he was doing his. No villains, no victims, just two warriors who collide at the wrong moment. Today, Priest Holmes' hands still tingle sometimes, but he's alive, he's mobile, and he's grateful. He doesn't live in the past, doesn't wonder what if. He's just happy he can still hug his kids, still go for a walk, still live, and that's more than some players get. So here's the question nobody wants to ask, but everyone's thinking. If Priest Holmes never takes that hit in San Diego, if his body holds up for just 3 more years, does he go down as one of the greatest running backs of all time? Let me put this in perspective. From 2001 to 2003, Priest Holmes averaged 22 touchdowns per season. That's not normal. That's not even elite. That's video game numbers. The Damian Tomlinson, who everyone considers a lock for the Mount Rushmore of running backs, averaged 18 touchdowns during his best 3-year stretch. Marshall Faulk, 17 per year at his absolute peak. Priest was doing these things that literally nobody else could sustain. And he was doing it at 28, 29, 30 years old, supposedly past his prime. Now imagine he plays until he's 32, just 2 more healthy seasons. That's another 40 touchdowns, maybe 3,000 more rushing yards. Suddenly, he's not just a what-if story, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But that's not what happened, because from 2001 to 2003, he was the best. Not top 5, not one of, the best. But careers aren't measured in 3-year stretches. They're measured in decades, in longevity, in championships. And Priest Holmes ran out of time. You know what's crazy though? Priest Holmes never won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs, never even made it to one. But ask any Chiefs fan from that era who their favorite player was, and 9 out of 10 times, they'll say number 26. Because for 3 years, he gave them something they'd never seen before. Hope, dominance, magic. And when the league tried to adjust, tried to scheme against him, tried to load the box and shut him down, he'd still find a way to score. That's the legacy. Not the Hall of Fame snub, not the injury, not the what-ifs. For 3 years, Priest Holmes made the impossible look routine. If you want more stories like this, the legends the NFL forgot, the careers that ended too soon, the players who deserve better, hit that subscribe button, because the league has a short memory, but we don't. I'll see you in the next one.